Please, come on. Come on. This is one of the things that Sola did not do in Schlumberger, so she is trying to see how it moves, but it will move all right. Baba Oba, Grand Chairman, members of the High Table, ladies and gentlemen, it's a special honor and pleasure for me to do this introduction and to make sure I'm able to do it. I did hop, step, and jump from Houston to be here today. It's with delight that I read about our honoree, Mr. Sola Oyinlola. That slip of tongue happens because of my background with the Sola Oyinlola that you people know. Mr. Oyinlola holds a first-class BSc degree in accounting from the University of Ghana. By the time I get through half of this, you will think that he is a scientist. He is an alumnus of the Oxford University Institute for Energy Studies, Harvard Business School Corporate Director Certificate Program, and has attended executive and board governance courses in business schools in Europe and the United States. He is a seasoned energy and finance professional with over 40 years operations and executive experience in oil and gas industry, having worked with Schlumberger from 1984 to 2015, after a stint with our central bank before proceeding for business school in US in 1982. He has at various times served in a management capacity across several localities or locations in Europe, US, Asia, Africa, including Group Managing Director in Malaysia and East Asia, being the first Nigerian GMD of Schlumberger. It also functioned in Nigeria and Gulf of Guinea, rising from the executive ranks to vice president and group treasurer in Houston, in Paris, and chairman Africa and global head sustainability and ESG. I told you he's now a scientist. So in Schlumberger Group in Houston. He held these positions from 2011 until his retirement in 2015. Previously, he was president of Schlumberger Foundation. While a Schlumberger GMD in Nigeria, as a strong believer in human capital development and local technology mastery as vectors for national economic growth, Mr. Oyinlola pushed through a Women in Science program and initiated robust technology donation to universities. For example, the University of Ibadan Schlumberger Learning Center, which housed the geoscience software and technical computing platforms, to the Geology and Petroleum Engineering departments, which started a tradition that continues today across many universities in Nigeria. As the Schlumberger Foundation president, he championed and fundraised for the flagship faculty for the Future program, making grants to women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM from developing countries to earn their doctorate and postdoctorate degrees in top universities across the world. These women will later return home confident and exposed to advanced research networks to teach, to research, to invent, innovate, and help develop policies encouraging technological development of their home countries. To date, over 800 women from 72 countries have benefited from this groundbreaking scholarship program, which aims at bridging the gender gap and creating female role models in science and technology. It is joyful to observe that Nigerian women top the list among those 72 countries. After retirement from Schlumberger, Mr. Oyinlola has personally funded the provision of hybrid solar power for rural schools and the UCH Rural Hospital in his home community, Secretary Shaki East local government area, Oyo State. I told him to give me a lesson on how to pronounce that thing, but he didn't. He has, over the years, granted bursaries for students in the community, mostly in STEM studies at universities. He is on course currently in completing an ICT center. As an angel investor in energy, infrastructure, and technology, Sola is a past board director of the Houston Angel Network. Sola is still Houston-based, but he left before me. I said, Sola, I'll meet up in Lagos. He's a previous member of the boards of Lake Oil Limited and FSD Africa, a Nairobi-based UK government development finance institution. Today, Sola is a director of shelf drilling offshore services, an offshore drilling contractor, and of director of Chapel Energies, a new entrant to the Nigerian energy sector that recently signed an agreement to acquire Nigerian subsidiary of Equinor. Sola is the chairman of the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce and trustee of the Nigerian American Multicultural Council in Houston. And until 2020, he served as a board director of the Schlumberger Foundation in the United States and in Netherlands. He is a fellow of the Institute of Petroleum Studies, University of Port Harcourt. Mr. Oyinlola joined the board of Guaranty Trust Bank PLC in 2014 and has been the chairman of the board of directors of GTCO Holdings since its formation in 2021. Mr. Oyinlola is happily married to a lovely wife and they are blessed with children. He didn't tell us how many. You know, in some countries, in some parts of Nigeria, you can't count children. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome and congratulate Mr. and Mrs. Oyinlola.